3 most legendary travelers in history. 1. Marco Polo. Marco Polo was a merchant and explorer who traveled throughout the Far East and China for much of his life. His stories were the basis for what much of Europe knew about ancient China for many years. He lived from 1254 to 1324. Marco first left for China when he was 17 years old. He traveled there with his father and uncle. His father and uncle had met the Mongol Emperor Kublai Khan during their first trip to China and had told him they would return. Kublai was leader over all of China at the time. How do we know about Marco Polo? After 20 years of traveling, Marco, along with his father and uncle, decided to head home to Venice. They left home in 1271 and finally returned in 1295. A few years after returning home, Venice fought a war with the city of Genoa. Marco was put under arrest. While he was under arrest, Marco told detailed stories of his journeys to a writer named Rustichello, who wrote them all down in a book called The Travels of Marco Polo. The Travels of Marco Polo became a very popular book. It was translated into multiple languages and read throughout Europe. After the fall of Kublai Khan, the Ming dynasty took over China. They were very wary of foreigners and little information about China was available. This made Marco's book even more popular. 2. Ibn Battuta. Abu Abdullah Muhammad Ibn Battuta was a Moroccan Muslim scholar and traveler. He is known for his traveling and going on excursions called the Rihla. His journeys lasted for a period of almost 30 years. This covered nearly the whole of the known Islamic world and beyond, extending from North Africa, West Africa, Southern Europe and Eastern Europe in the west, to the Middle East, Indian subcontinent, Central Asia, Southeast Asia and China in the east, a distance readily surpassing that of his predecessors. After his travel he returned to Morocco and gave his account of the experience to Ibn News. Abu Abdullah Muhammad Ibn Battuta was born in Tangier, Morocco, on the 24th of February 1304 CE, 703 Hijra, during the time of the Mauryan dynasty. He was commonly known as Shams ad-Din. His family was of Berber origin and had a tradition of service as judges. After receiving an education in Islamic law, he chose to travel. He left his house in June 1325 when he was 21 years of age and set off from his hometown on a Hajj pilgrimage to Mecca, a journey that took him 16 months. He did not come back to Morocco for at least 24 years after that. His journey was mostly by land. To reduce the risk of being attacked, he usually chose to join a caravan. In the town of Sfax, he got married. He survived wars, shipwrecks, and rebellions. He first began his voyage by exploring the lands of the Middle East. Thereafter he sailed down the Red Sea to Mecca. He crossed the huge Arabian desert and traveled to Iraq and Iran. In 1330, he set off again down the Red Sea to Aden and then to Tanzania. Then in 1332, Ibn Battuta decided to go to India. He was greeted open-heartedly by the Sultan of Delhi. There he was given the job of a judge. He stayed in India for a period of 8 years and then left for China. Ibn Battuta left for another adventure in 1352. He then went south, crossed the Sahara Desert, and visited the African kingdom of Mali. Finally, he returned home at Tangier in 1355. Those who were lodging Ibn Battuta's grave Western Orientalists could not believe that Ibn Battuta visited all the places that he described.